From California's biggest construction debacle to China's largest destruction of 15 high-rises that were never even utilized, here are 6 of the most costly construction mistakes ever made. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to ensure that you never miss any of our new videos. Let's get started. Number 6. Leang Star City. The second phase of the so-called Leang Star City in Kunming, China, began development in 2011. They constructed 19 high-rise structures to contain residential and office space for 4 big sites. The project changed hands within a year after it began, and the new company completed the first 4 high-rises, but construction on the remaining buildings was delayed in 2013 due to financial issues. The other 15 structures were topped out but not completed. Over time, the basements became flooded with rain, causing foundation damage that was irreversible. Another real estate business purchased the property and project rights in December 2020 for approximately $150 million. They rapidly released that the 8-year-old buildings would no longer match the expectations of a changing real estate market, so they chose to demolish them. Demolition crews laid over 4 tons of explosives, and they took safety measures. Finally, the planned demolition began in August 2021. They were demolished in 45 seconds after years of planning and building, and it was reputedly China's largest at-once demolition. Number 5. The Millennium Tower. This residential tower, completed in 2009, is the 6th largest building in San Francisco, towering about 200 meters tall. Mission Street Development LLC spent $350 million to build the tower, which they claimed went successfully. Residents, who paid up to $13 million for an apartment, discovered in 2016 that the Millennium Tower was tilting and sinking into the ground. A study at the time revealed that the tower's base was dug into deep sand rather than bedrock, which could not hold the weight of the structure. As a result, only 7 years after it opened, the Millennium Tower had sunk 40 centimeters, 16 inches, with a 15-centimeter tilt at the top. Lawsuits were filed almost immediately after this information was made public. The city of San Francisco and the building's homeowners association sued the development team, who blamed another firm for the adjoining Transbay Transit Center's construction. However, it turns out that the problem began before they even began. Many residents reported hearing creaking and cracking sounds in September of 2018. A loud, popping sound woke up people on the 36th floor in the middle of the night. A damaged window discovered in a corner unit suggests that Millennium Tower has greater structural issues. The claims were eventually merged, and a settlement was granted to resolve the situation. What is the solution? Engineers devised a $100 million plan to dig into the bedrock on the tower's north and west side. Those in charge of monitoring the project noticed that the tower had lowered another inch and the tilt had risen once again. It currently leans more than 22 inches at the top, and the issue is being investigated again before returning to work on the repair. Number 4. Olkiluoto 3 Nuclear Power Plant. Nuclear power is used to meet the need for electricity in over 30 countries throughout the world. Nuclear power generates approximately 30% of Finland's electricity, and the Finnish government decided in 2005 that this was insufficient. They needed to build more nuclear reactors if they were to minimize their reliance on coal. A modern and highly efficient third unit would be added at the Olkiluoto nuclear power plant in Eurajoki, increasing Finland's nuclear power production by nearly 60%. The reactor's first 2 units are operational and have been producing power since the 1980s. The third reactor, whose construction started in 2005, was the first one that a Western nation had built in 15 years. Construction delays plagued the project from the start. Although TVO, the company that controls the Olkiluoto power station, initially stated that the new reactor would be ready in 2010, it is currently under development. The basic structures were finished quickly, but the nuclear components required years to install. Business disagreements, supply chain concerns, and scheduling delays have kept the project in limbo for 12 years and have cost an estimated $8 billion. Olkiluoto 3 will finally begin regular power generation in February 2022. According to TVO, the project's initial cost was roughly $3 billion, which climbed with each passing year. Due to the delays and difficulties, the overall cost of the project is currently anticipated to be $11 billion, approximately 4 times the initial price. Number 3. Hollands Rail Tunnel. Problems emerged with Sweden's rail infrastructure in 1975, when some portions of the West Coast Line were unable to handle the rising train traffic. To address this issue, a large initiative to convert the entire line to double track was announced. The improvements on the single-track railway on Hollands Ridge, which was a severe bottleneck for passenger trains traveling between Gothenburg, Sweden, to Copenhagen, Denmark, was an essential aspect of this project. As a result, construction of the Hollands Tunnel began in 1992, with an expected completion date of 3 years later. However, issues arose almost immediately. Groundwater began seeping from the rock as soon as the building began, and in far greater quantities than anticipated. The rock was too soft for significant drilling processes, and the first drill they tried broke. The Hollands Tunnel project was finished in 2015, 23 years after it began. The Swedish government estimated that the project would cost approximately 1 billion Swedish kroner. When it was completed in 2015, the total cost was approximately 10.5 billion kroner, 10 times the original estimate. Number 2. Eastern span replacement of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. Every year, about 27 million automobiles continue between Yerba Buena Island and Oakland. They all use the 10-lane San Francisco Bay Bridge to cross 3.5 kilometers of water on a regular basis. A bridge this long needs to be safe, yet an earthquake in 1989 highlighted its flaws. On October 17, 1989, a 6.9 magnitude earthquake known as Loma Prieta destroyed a portion of the old Bay Bridge. City officials had no choice but to remedy structural issues and restore the bridge's safety. However, it was determined that the cost of upgrading the bridge and repairing the damage would be prohibitively expensive. Instead, San Francisco officials opted to host a design competition for a new bridge. It took a decade to reach an agreement on a new design. The eastern span would be replaced with a south-anchored bridge, which a panel felt looked better. Unfortunately, the complexity of this sort of bridge proved to be an expensive waste of money. Stability rods frequently break, necessitating repair or replacement. The eastern section of the Bay Bridge took 11 years to build and is the most expensive infrastructure project in California. Though the new high-speed train may eventually replace it, the overall cost of the bridge and its various breakdowns is unknown, but it was projected in 2019 to be more than $7 billion. That is roughly 7 times the original price of slightly more than $1 billion. Number 1. The Harmon Hotel. City Center in Las Vegas is an urban complex located in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. It was announced in November 2004 as a high-end living experience that will comprise residential condominiums, a shopping mall, and all of life's necessities. The self-contained city would incorporate the Harmon Hotel, a 137-meter-tall mixed hotel and residence high-rise with a proof pool overlooking the Strip. Harmon's construction began in 2007 with these ideas, and the costs were anticipated to be over $275 million, and it was only halfway built when progress was suspended for good. Do you have any examples of large-scale undertakings that did not go as planned? Please let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to LuxLook 365. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.